Hey up everyone, Magpie Gaming here, I hope you're all doing well. So in yesterday's video I detailed the major changes and additions to the game with patch 12.11. Obviously Battlestate Games didn't give us full patch notes straight away, but they have now. So I will of course link those in the description down below so that you can go and read those. One of the things I didn't do in that video, which I said I would do, was give my opinion on things. I didn't in the end because the video was getting quite long with all of the things that were changed and added. So I decided not to give my opinion in that one because I think a lot of people get to like the 8-9 minute mark in a video and they start to get really bored. So they've heard everything and they don't really want to listen to my opinion. So I thought I would keep it separate for those of you that might want to hear my opinion on things that have changed in the game. So I'm just going to go through the list from the top to the bottom. The factory expansion I think is pretty good. It's doubled the size of the playing area now, and obviously you have Tagila on there, who is Killer's brother. And from the videos that I've seen of other people, he seems to be quite solid to take on and beat. I've played him a couple of times in offline mode and found him pretty easy to beat, so I don't know if his attributes change in offline mode to online mode, I'm not too sure, but basically just shoot the legs and he will eventually go down. But yeah, it's doubled the playing area. How that will actually play out in terms of sort of raids and everything I don't know, because I haven't really played too much of the game right now. But it does look good. The first iteration of weapon malfunctioning, I have felt that myself. The M4 that you get given in the EOD edition, that jammed a couple of times in the very first offline raid that I did. It simply went to fire and just clicked, and I had to reload, which seemed to sort the issue out. It's not the sort of thing that you want to be doing in a firefight though, but I understand that that is taking us to a more realistic sort of point of view with the weapons. Although when the durability is that high, I don't understand why you would instantly get jams after a couple of rounds. But they do say in the patch notes that different ammunition will have a different sort of ratio of jamming in weapons, so I would assume that the more expensive ammunition won't jam as much as the cheaper ammunition. So that's going to be one of those things where the more expensive ammunition is going to become very expensive now, but we'll have to wait and see. Nvidia Reflex has been added into the game. I haven't really tried this myself, but this basically just decreases input lag if you're using a 900 series Nvidia card or higher. You can also use peripherals with it. There are Reflex sort of approved mice and Reflex approved screens, and if you have a mouse, a screen and an Nvidia card, it all sort of syncs in a little bit better. Whether that actually gives you an advantage over who you're playing against, I'm not too sure. I kind of get the feeling that it's more just a visual advantage at your end, because obviously what you do with your computer then has to be processed by the Tarkov servers, and we all know how good they can be sometimes at processing things. So whether it gives you an unfair advantage or not, I'm not too sure. Hopefully somebody somewhere will do some more in-depth testing with that and we'll get a view of whether there is an advantage or not. Scav Karma has been added into the game, and this is the first iteration of it. It's going to need tweaking and it's going to need working. There are a lot of complaints about it right now. Obviously when you go in as a player scav, other player scavs might attack you, so you have to attack back. They have just done a quick update to the game today so that if you are attacked first and then you retaliate and kill the other player scav, you don't lose any reputation. I don't think you gain any, but you don't lose any, which you was before this little update. So that's one step in the right direction. But I think it's trying to promote player scavs banding together. I'm not sure that's ever going to happen in this game. Too many people just want the loot and want to get out and they'll kill whatever's in their way. But if you do want to play that way and you manage to build up your scav reputation, this goes through fence, and then you're able to get other AI scavs to maybe follow basic commands in the game. Once your reputation is built up, they will actually see you as a friend and they will help you attack other players and pay PMCs if you band together with them, and eventually you will be able to get sort of the bosses to actually go to your side as well. Can you imagine teaming up with some of the bosses in the game? I think that would be pretty cool, but it's going to take a long time to get to that kind of reputation level. As I say, a lot of people right now aren't too into this and they're just killing other player scavs anyway, and it's very hard to instantly identify whether somebody's a player scav or whether they are just a player. You know, it's that split-second decision, do I shoot, don't I? You know, and a lot of people shoot first and ask questions later because they don't want to die first. So it'll be interesting to see how this one eventually plays out within the game, but I like it. I just think it needs some work. There's obviously new items in the game, there's new barter items, there's new weapons, there's a couple of new quests. I haven't looked into what those are right now, but I will be in the coming days. I know that there is a new quest for Prapordo that I have seen, and that is basically that you just have to survive one raid on reserve, and that is it. There's no actual sort of having to do anything other than survive a raid. That's a bit of an odd one, seems like a non-quest to me, but I guess it depends at what point in the wipe you actually get that quest. If it's very, very later on, then it might be a little bit more difficult to survive a raid on there, because obviously everybody's geared up to hell, but we'll see. There's been a lot of quality of life changes in the game as well. You've obviously got the prefixes on the shoreline keys where it gives you an E or a W in the icon to let you know what wing it's on. I think that a little change like that goes a long way. That is definitely sort of the kind of quality of life changes that we need in the game. We do need more of those. There's a couple of new skills as weapon maintenance. Obviously that's tied in with the weapon malfunctioning. There's a troubleshooting one, I think that's tied in with the malfunctioning as well. I'm not too sure on that, I haven't really looked into those things just yet. And there's a couple of other things, like there's the out of raid voice commands that you can set up. Instead of having to do them in raid, you can do them out of raid now. So yeah, they've made the game a little bit harder though, because the one issue that I've skated around so far in this video is that they've changed the flea market access to level 20. This is the one that's caused the most uproar within the community, and as an Escape from Tarkov games commentator, I have to look at this in a non-biased view. Obviously I have my own personal opinion, but I have to be non-biased when I come to reporting this sort of thing, and I understand both sides of the argument on this, and there are a lot of arguments around this. A lot of people think that this is a good move, a lot of people think that this is a bad move. My own personal take on it is I don't use the flea market that much, if I'm completely honest. I tend to sell a lot of my stuff to the traders to begin with, so that I can get the spent and bought levels up with them, so that I can then level them up, because obviously you have to have spent a certain amount of rubles or dollars with them to get up to their next reputation level. So for the first, I don't know, for the first maybe up to level 20 anyway, I don't tend to sell too much to the flea market, and obviously I can't now. I don't know, it's obviously being done to slow progression in the game, it's obviously being done to stop people getting hold of the higher end gear, but that's still going to happen. These are the people that say, well, obviously casual gamers are going to lose out now, and there's no doubt casual gamers are going to be at a disadvantage now, because they don't have access to things that other people will have access to, because they've been able to sit playing the game for 16 hours a day and get straight up to max level very, very quickly. But at the same time, these people that are saying, well, it's not for casual gamers, you shouldn't be here, these are the players that are stocking the flea market for you guys at the end of the day. These are the players that are creating stuff in their hideout and flogging it on the flea market for you to have the meta gear, for you to have the, you know, the meta ammunition. And Pestilli tweeted sometime during the night that he'd got to level 20, got on the flea market, and there was only about 100 people there. So I can only assume that stuff that is getting put on there right now is absolutely at a premium. It will command a very, very high price. So for these people that are saying, well, casuals shouldn't be in the game, I think when you get flea market access, you might actually struggle to get some of the things that you used to be able to buy very, very easily. And that's because the supply is going to be, the demand from you guys is going to be there, but the supply from the casuals isn't going to be. Yes, there'll be supply from those of you that are able to, you know, breeze through this game very, very quickly, but it's not going to be as much as it used to be. So the items that you want are going to be very expensive. So, but we'll have to see how it goes. It's early days yet. Getting to level 20 isn't that hard. I'm going to say that, and a lot of people will hate me for saying that, but I don't think it is. It doesn't take that long, but depending on how long you've got to play, you know, some casuals, as a casual, if you play Call of Duty, you can have a pretty good go at Call of Duty, say playing 3 hours a day. You'll get a good amount of entertainment out of that. Playing 3 hours a day of Escape from Tarkov isn't going to progress you very far, and that's just the crux of the issue here. It's not going to progress you very far at all, and obviously the more time you've got to put into the game, the further you can go, but it's just, I don't know. It's this whole issue of progression and how you fix it. It's inherently broken in Escape from Tarkov and has been since day one. I think even though Battlestate, to their credit, are trying very hard to sort of work out how to do it and try to please everybody, I think at the end of the day they're not going to please everybody, and it's just going to take a lot longer to sort this out. And there's always going to be these hardcore players v these casual players, which have to try and find the happy medium between it all. But yeah, it's one of those, I don't envy Battlestate trying to sort this out whatsoever, but we'll see how it goes. And that's pretty much my opinion on this patch so far. I think it's been 50-50 in terms of being badly received by the community and well received by the community. I think it's split the community even more than what it used to be, but it could be that those of us that are complaining about it just need to, you know, give it a try and see how it goes. I think most changes that happen in Escape from Tarkov, those of us that really love the game just get used to them, and eventually it becomes the norm. So yeah, I've not played a actual rage yet in the game. I've been too busy making these videos and with my personal life, but I'm hoping to get some games in over the weekend and see how things are. I know that the servers has been long matching times. I haven't seen any real fixes for that just yet. I think Battlestate are just hoping that things naturally calm down over the next few days. One good thing that they haven't done is applied drops and things like that on Twitch for people to do, although I don't think they have. I haven't actually looked on Twitch to see if they have, but obviously all the usual streamers will be at it like mad. So yeah, that's my opinion. It's just, I think it was a bit muted at first, obviously without patch notes and knowing exactly what was coming, and I don't think a lot of people will look at this patch and go, well, there's not a great deal in it, but there's a lot in it. It's just that a lot of it isn't that important to the vast majority of players. So yeah, there you go. That's my opinion. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. A massive thank you to all of those of you that do subscribe and do interact with the videos. It means a hell of a lot to me, and long may that continue. And I will catch you in the next video. Stay safe and take care.